foolish Jedi! You're doing it wrong!
Greetings and hello there, fellow hose drinkers. It's me, Nooch Too Good, with another conversation about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes for you guys. And this one is based on the Malevolence. You're doing it wrong. I don't know how to, I see it every time I do a roster review. People are not prepared and don't have this ship ready to go and up and running, and they're not even getting ready for it in the long term. This is me. This is my Nooch 2 Hyper account. What we're gonna do here today is I'm showing this just to give you a baseline here. I'm at 4 million. My account is just under a year old, like 4 days under 1 year old. You can see I'm still working on Malevolence. It's at 6 stars. I've got a Gear 12 General Grievous with both of his Zetas on, so, you know, I've got some room to grow here on the Malevolence, but the key here is that I planned ahead on my fleet. When we talk about the game right now, we often talk about farming those GEOs. In fact, almost all the time, we talk about farming GEOs up front as such an important early team for everyone, but also as an important team for early fleets to get you into Geonosis territory battles, play some defense in early Grand Arena, play offense in Grand Arena all the way through a Rhodium. It's just a great team to have on your roster as a new, mid, or getting to late game player. The GEOs can do a lot of great things, and even end game players, everybody uses Malevolence, the fleet, all the way through the end of the game. People are using the Malevolence as a fleet. But what I'm finding is people are not preparing their rosters properly to utilize the Malevolence when they get it. I'm gonna look at 4 different rosters today. And it was so easy to find these. So easy and so sad. Every roster review stream I do, I find multiple accounts that have not farmed properly for the Malevolence, for the Separatist fleet to have it up and running. Let's go start taking a look at these accounts right now. You know, the great thing about these accounts is each one of them is going to be a little bit different with where they're on the game, the progress, and what's going on with the roster. So here we have 4.5 million, 1 Galactic Legend, farming Jedi Knight Luke, and on their way towards some good things. Actually, they might have, this roster might have a Jabba. Yeah, Jabba with no ultimate. That's right. Okay, so 2 Galactic Legends. And let's take a look at those Geonosians. And so we got Geonosians here. There's 5 of them. They're all Gear 12, okay? Now let's consider this. 4.5 million, 5 Gear 12 Geonosians. Now let's look at these ships. Let's flip it in opposite order. There's no Malevolence here, but there is a Negotiator at 6 stars, okay? No Malevolence, but there is a Negotiator at 6 stars. Now keep in mind, all of the Geonosians are Gear 12, okay? Let's look at the Galactic Republic fleet. All of the Galactic Republic pilots are Gear 11, Gear 9, Gear 9, Gear 9, Gear 9. This fleet, Plo Koon is Gear 1, level 1. This fleet is not ready. This Galactic Republic fleet is not ready for Negotiator. But when we look at the Separatists, we've got all of these Gear 12 GEOs. We got a 5. This account would have been better served in almost all accounts. If you're farming GEOs early, if you got the GEO ships, which I recommend for free to play and even for hyperdrive accounts, it is easy to get those Geonosian ships in the Galactic War Shop, in the ship shop, the fleet shop, and even with your Get One currency to buy a Sunfag ship. And Sunfag is easily farmable now with that raid currency. You can get this fleet up and running much faster and much simpler and much easier than you can the Negotiator fleet, but there's been no farming done for it, except we got these GEO ships sitting here, and now they're pretty much being unused. They're probably being thrown out there with an Executrix, which is a very secondary, it's early in the game, very early, first 6 months of playing, great stuff. If you're free to play, it might last like 9 months. After that, fades really fast with the Executrix. But if you go get the Malevolence as your first capital ship out of Malevolence and Negotiator, which by the way I didn't look at, we'll take a look at that here in between these accounts. So this person would have been better served farming the Negotiator, or excuse me, the Malevolence over the Negotiator and going to get the Hyena Bomber and Vulture Droid and finishing off all these ships. Now let's talk about another reason we're talking about this. I got 3 more accounts to look at, but I didn't think about this and I should have thought about this up front. It's the guild event store. So when you get into a Geonosis territory battle guild, or you're in a guild that's doing Rise the Empire as well, you're getting this Get 2 currency, Mark II guild event tokens, GET2, Get 2 currency. And with that, the first two things you farm are the Malevolence and the Negotiator. Malevolence and Negotiator. That's the first two things you farm with that currency. Once you finish that, you can start buying Chirotex all the time with it, okay? Now, I'm sitting there. This is my hyperdrive account. I got Negotiator done. I'm on my way to Malevolence. And I showed you where I was with farming those ships as well. If you look at my Galactic Republic, I'm in really good shape there with the ships as well. You can see I'm farming my Y-Wing. I've almost got it done. I probably should have done my Malevolence first because that fleet is better or as good as my fleet is better. My fleet is better than what you just saw. Yeah, a lot better. It's a lot better. I was gonna say not a lot better. It's a lot better. Even though Gear 12 Ahsoka, Gear 12. Anyway, let's take it. So the get to currency is what we're looking at. Spending for a Negotiator when you get into at least a Geo Territory Battle Guild. Let's take a look at another account and talk about a little bit. Each one of these accounts has a little bit different aspect of what they're doing wrong. We're doing it wrong. Okay, now this is it. I love this account. 4.7 million. Again, 2 Galactic Legends. Very similar to your previous account we just saw. Let's take a look at those Geonosians. A Relic Geobrute Alpha, which is not a ship, Poggle, and then the other 3, Gear 12. Okay, now we look at ships, and we flip it over. We've got the Malevolence here, okay? We've got a Malevolence, we got a Negotiator. They're both purple gear for Grievous and GK, but we got the gear in there. Let's take a look at Galactic Republic first. So we got the Negotiator there, and again, it's all purple gear, Galactic Republic, except for a Relic Anakin, but it's a 6-star. It's a 6-star Anakin ship. Now let's look at the Separatists. We got a Malevolence, right? Oh, no, 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 no. We have left behind. We have this is so disappointing. This player has not farmed. They've gotten the Malevolence with that get to currency over time, probably a couple years. This is not a hyperdrive account, but they haven't farmed the Hyena Bomber nor the Vulture Droid at all. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, these are long farms. These ship farms do take a long time. If you farm a ship node once a day, or if you farm it like one time through a day, so you do 5 times on that ship node every day, it's gonna take you 6 months to unlock a ship. If you refresh it every day, 3 months, okay? It takes a while. So people have been telling me on streams, well, you know, it just takes so long. I didn't want to get into it, but it's like, no. Start it earlier. Start earlier. Start farming the Hyena Bomber and the Vulture Droid earlier. Let's go back to my account. Let's look at these ships right now. You need to start farming the Hyena Bomber and the Vulture Droid early. It's the same thing as if you're looking for the Executor. You got to start farming that Imperial TIE Bomber early. Vulture Droid is sitting there, and it's on a node with your pal and mine, Iden Versio. And that's only 12. 60 energy a day spent farming Vulture Droid. It's gonna feel like a lot. It's gonna feel like a lot at the beginning, but over time, it pays off tremendously. Getting this up there, you're gonna get your Geo ships first anyway. Go get the other Separatist ships with it. Here, the Hyena Bomber is sitting on a 20 energy node. That's a little bit more beefy for you, but you're gonna get some cuffs. You're gonna get these Mark IV walkies that these are actually really prevalent in the game that you need. Just, you know what? I've always got at least a couple of ships that I'm farming. You see right now on my roster, I'm sitting here, and you guys saw it already. I'm farming the Galactic Republic Y-Wing, which is almost done, and I'm farming the Outrider on my way to Jabba the Hutt. Once I finish those, I'm not sure what'll be next. I'll have to take a look at it. I've been using that Imperial fleet a lot lately. Maybe the Imperial shuttle will be next. I'm not sure. What's next. Maybe the Rebel Y-Wing. You gotta look out forward. The thing is, since these farms on ships take 6 months, look out forward to what you might be farming in the next, 6 months to a year from now, and think about that. Am I going to be going for Jedi Master Luke? Well, I'll need that Rebel Y-Wing, Am I going to go for Leviathan down the road? I'll need these Sith ships. Maybe I'm looking at Rey. I'll need some of these Resistance ships. You got to think about what you're farming down the road with your roster. Really far, you have those long-term plans you talk about all the time, planning. Let's look at another roster and some more falling down on the job here. Okay, here we are again. This one's actually bigger. 5.6 million, 1 Galactic Legend. Looks like Jabba's next on the roster here, and if we look at the Geonosians on this roster too, it's the same. 4 G12 Geos and a Relic Geobrute Alpha. Let's take a look at these ships. There's a Malevolence at 5 stars, a Negotiator at 7 stars. Let's look at the Galactic Republic fleet first, okay? Since they went ahead and did the 7-star Galactic Republic, this fleet's doing okay. This fleet's okay. It's doesn't have the Y-wing up, but this fleet is not in. It's in better shape than the previous fleet. You can go ahead and Relic 7 or Gear 7 Plo Koon. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. Okay, so they did the negotiator first, and they got the fleet to back it up. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's go take a look at that Malevolence fleet right here, because we have a Relic 7. We have a Relic 7 Grievous, and oh no. We've not farmed Vulture Droid, maybe a little bit, but probably more Iden Versio farming. Just kind of got the Vulture Droid on the side because it's only level 1. And Hyena Bomber has not been farmed at all. Guys, boys and girls, boys, get ahead of the game. Farm it early, farm it often. Hyena Bomber, Vulture Droid. Malevolence is your first capital ship with your Get To currency. You're going to have a great... I would no longer call it an end game, okay? But the Malevolence can beat Executor. It's like a 20%, 1 in 5. And Malevolence always beats Negotiator when if they're both maxed out. Malevolence is a monster ship for everybody. So, all right, one more account here, and this one actually has a chance. I think if I remember right in this account, actually has a chance to do something good here. Okay, now we got an account where we're getting in early. 1.5 million. The GEOS are being farmed. You can see this is a very early account. I think it's a hyperdrive account. It's a hyperdrive account very early on. This is probably 4 or 5 months in. The GEOS are being worked on. They're going to get them to Gear 12, so the GEOS are there. They're being worked on. Let's go take a look at those ships. Let's go take a look at those ships. We don't have Negotiator. We don't have Malevolence yet. None are available. But let's talk about here. This is the point where you need to be working ahead. And you see a 6-star Vulture Droid here. The GEO ships are all 7 stars. I'm hoping that Hyena Bomber is also being farmed in the background. This is where you get ahead and get your Malevolence ready to go. Do it right. Stop doing it wrong. Farm the Hyena Bomber and the Vulture Droid early and often. If you've got the GEO ships and you're upgrading GEOs to Gear 12, farm those other 2 Separatist ships. It's a much easier journey to a big capital ship. It's going to help you early. Again, Malevolence Negotiator are active all the way through endgame. They're more active early, and they fade a little bit over time, but they're active all the way through endgame in everybody's fleets. And at some point they're going to get upgrades. They're going to put more ships out there to make these things better. That's just how the game works right now. They find another Separatist ship to put out there and it makes it better. But guys and girls, get ahead early. Get ahead early on your Malevolence. Make it big. And hey, if you want to go for Negotiator, okay. Get ahead early. Think about the ships. Think ahead to the ships you're going to need. Anakin, Ahsoka, Fives, the Galactic Republic Y-Wing. Plo Koon is a necessity on that fleet. A necessity on that fleet. Clone Sergeant is a necessity on that fleet too. Anyway, that's what I'm saying. I just see so many people every day doing it wrong. Get ahead of the game. Farm these ships to go along with your GEOs. I know you're farming GEOs. Get the ships. Get the other Separatist ships. There's no characters needed for those. You can farm them very easily. Pay attention, because I know what I'm talking about. I hope you have a great day. Go out and drink from a hose and let me know that you did it. I'll talk to you soon. Always remember, Nooch Too Good.